Hi, my name's Katie, welcome back to my channel. In this video I am going to be trying out two foundations from Primark. I've got the PS My Perfect Colour Double Coverage Matte Foundation, Longwear Matte Finish Oil Free in the shade Porcelain, which I'm pretty sure is the lightest shade. This one here, which I think it did have different packaging before. I think this is kind of like a newer packaging. I don't know if it's a new formula or anything, but I don't know. The other foundation I got from Primark is the PS My Perfect Colour Velvet Finish Foundation, which is medium full customizable coverage with a second skin effect. And this one is also in the shade Porcelain. This one was £6. I don't know if you can see that up there. Yes, £6. And the double coverage matte foundation was £5. So definitely very affordable foundations, that's for sure. I've not really tried a lot of Primark makeup, to be honest, which is quite surprising because I'm a very like drugstore affordable makeup type of person, but I've really not tried a lot of Primark makeup. I've tried a mascara like somewhat recently, like quite a few months ago. I don't even have it anymore because it's dried up, but I actually quite liked that. I do feel like I've seen people kind of give some of the foundations like good reviews, so I kind of did want to just see if they are actually any good. Obviously I'm going to film this video over 2 days because I'm not going to be trying out two foundations at once. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm slightly more intrigued by this one just because I don't feel like I've heard a lot, if anything, about this one, but I feel like I have heard a little bit about this one. I feel like the shade looks pretty pale. I think the shade should be okay. Obviously it's Primark, so it's not got an amazing shade range. This might be pretty damn obvious, but I am pretty damn pale, pretty fair, definitely. My undertones lean more to the warm, yellowy side. I can get away with neutral things as well. As long as we're not pink, we're good, to be honest. In terms of my skin type, my skin it's pretty normal. Like, I wouldn't say I lean too oily, I wouldn't say I lean too dry. I mean, it is winter at the moment, so I feel like my skin is a little bit more dry than it is normally, but I mean, definitely not like overwhelmingly dry or anything. It's still pretty normal. I do get breakouts and stuff, so I don't know, I guess my skin is slightly sensitive. I wouldn't say it's really sensitive, but I do get a lot of breakouts and I get a lot of redness and blotchiness and stuff like that. I'd say my preference is kind of like a high medium. That's kind of what I like the most. So, enough talking, let's go ahead and try out the Velvet Finish foundation. Something funny about like dropper foundations is I actually didn't know how to use these until recently. I used to get really confused, like that I'd be putting them on and nothing would be coming out. I didn't realise that you had to like squeeze the top for it to actually go into the pipette. So when I discovered that, my mind was blown. Anyway, I guess we're just saying that this doesn't seem like the best quality pipette. Yeah, I don't feel like this pipette is working particularly well. I think the colour looks like it's going to be okay. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to try and get enough to coat my face here. I'm just using a LA Girl sponge to blend it out. So I would say I've put on about 1 to 2 layers, a layer and a half, and that's so far I actually really like this. The packaging is like shit, like that dropper did not work properly, but I managed to get enough on eventually. They got a very like smooth, buttery consistency. I would say that this is actually a high medium coverage, which, as I said earlier, that kind of is my preference, so I actually am very happy with the level of coverage that it's given. I think the colour is pretty good. I mean, it still looks a little bit different, just like the undertone to my neck. I feel like I just have really weird like undertone. Like, I feel like it's almost kind of like an olivey sort of tone I have. It's pretty smooth looking. I would say it's maybe sitting a little bit in my texture, but I find this with kind of all foundations really. So actually I'm very happy with how this is sitting on the skin. I'll just give you a closer up look. I think you'll be able to see that it is sitting on my texture a little bit, but not really badly or anything. I feel like it's kind of just what you would expect anyway if you have got kind of skin with a bit of texture, which I like to think pretty much everybody has. The kind of bad spots I have at the moment are on this bit of my chin, and it's actually covered them quite well, so I'm happy with that. Definitely happy with how this is looking. I'd say it's like semi-matte. There's definitely a bit of dewiness coming through here, but nothing like overwhelmingly oily or anything like that, so happy with that sort of finish. I'm liking this. I think it looks pretty good. We'll have to see if it stays on my face all day. I am just kind of hanging out at home. I much prefer to do like wear tests when I'm going out to work. I don't know what it is, but I just prefer like if I'm doing something with my day as opposed to just chilling out at home. But it doesn't matter. We're still gonna, you know, keep this on our face for about 6 to 8 hours or whatever. I don't know, maybe longer than that, we'll see. And I'll just show you how it looks at the end of this day. In the meantime, I'm just going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'll show you what it looks like with all that done. Alright, so I've just gone and finished the rest of my makeup. I used the Revolution Fast Base Concealer, and for powder I used the Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay under my eyes, and then I used this cheap powder I got off Amazon called Nice Face. It's the Tracer Shadow Powder 01. It's okay. I don't have a lot of powders that I like on me at the moment. Let's make 2019 the year of me finding powders I like. But I'm happy with how it looks anyway with my makeup done. It's 20 past 7. So I say probably it was 7 that I finished putting it on. Maybe, I don't know. So I guess I'll see what this looks like at 2 in the morning. This is what happens when I have days off work. I don't do anything until 7 PM. So, hi, so I'm back. Ideally I would leave this on a lot longer. It's only been like 5 hours. Normally I'd want to do at least like 7 or more, but I just really need to take my makeup off. I just need to. I mean, so far at this level, it's worn really well. I mean, 5 hours is still quite a bit of time, you know. It really does not look all that dissimilar to how it looked when I put it on. I think you should be able to see that on camera. Maybe it's gone ever so slightly textured, but not badly. I could tell that like it's probably gonna get worse in terms of texture after a few more hours. You could just kind of tell, but that's pretty much the case with all foundations. I'll just get a bit closer to you anyway. I really feel like it doesn't look all that different at all. Really, I just feel like it kind of looks the same, so sorry that this is a shitty wear test for this one. When I try out the next one I will do it longer because I am going to be going to work that day, so be able to give you a better wear test for that second one. Obviously I am going to retry it at some point, so if I have any updated thoughts on the wear I will just put that in the description below. Anyway, on to the next foundation and me trying that out. Okay, so it's another day and we are now going to try out the Double Coverage Matte Foundation. And I've actually got work today, so this is my ideal conditions for testing a foundation. So I will keep this one on my face for a little bit longer. Now I am a bit sick at the moment, so foundation is not going to wear well in my nose, upper lip area. It's gonna be gone, so I'm just gonna have to base my opinion on the kind of outer perimeters of my face, I think. So obviously, yeah, this one doesn't have a pump, which is a little bit annoying. So I'm just gonna have to try and pour this out on my hand, I guess, and go from there. I'll give it a little bit of a shake, why not? So again, I've just got moisturiser on, I've not got any primer or anything. I have sprayed my sponge with a bit of all-nighter from Urban Decay. I feel like this colour looks a little bit darker than the other foundation. I mean, it's still pretty pale. Okay, we got something going on here. Yeah, I think we will get away with the colour. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize. Not the perfect shade for me, but it's pretty decent. Like, I can definitely think I can get away with this colour on its own. And blow my nose one more time. So again, same thing. Gonna blend this in all over my face. Okay, I think I've got enough of that on my face. I feel like this looks incredibly similar to the first foundation, if I'm honest. Like, I'm not really noticing any like differences. I feel like the coverage is pretty similar, you know, high medium. Finish is pretty similar. It's kind of like a little bit Got a bit of dewiness coming through. Definitely wouldn't say it's a super matte foundation. There's definitely some oils going on. Definitely would need to set it. But I don't really feel like they're all that different, to be honest. Even the colour's really similar. Thinking my texture a little bit, not too badly though. Very smooth looking, very buttery looking. Not clinging to any dry patches, not patchy at all. Pretty nice. I'm quite happy with how it looks. Again, I feel like, is this the same foundation as the first one? I feel like they're very similar looking. So I'll just get a bit close to the camera just so you can see it, you know. Okay, so same thing. Gonna finish off my makeup, show you what it looks like then. Right, so back with the rest of my makeup on. I used the Tarte creaseless concealer and the same powder that I used for the first foundation, the nice face thing. Again, I'm very happy. I think it looks nice. I'm happy with how my base looks, so I'm gonna go about my day and I'll come back. I don't know how long it's gonna be exactly, but we'll give it a good wear test and see if it looks a mess. As I said, it's gonna be gone in this area because I'm gonna have to blow my nose a lot because I'm sick. I guess I'll just give you a closer look at it again, just with it concealed and set. Why not? Okay, I'm back. It has been about 7 hours. I've been to work, I've done my day, and I've been very sick and a lot of coughing and a lot of nose blowing, and so let's just discount like this part of my face because that is just like dead. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing we're going to ignore. So I'm actually very impressed with how it's held up. Not a lot of disintegration at all. It's not really broken down too badly anywhere. I would say it's sunken into the texture of my forehead a bit, but like all foundations do that after a long day. But I wouldn't really say it's like broken down or come off or gotten like super textured or anything like that. I'm actually, you know, I'm quite impressed with how that's held up on my forehead. I mean, there's a little bit of texture sinking, but nothing too bad really. And you know, these parts of my face, again, the same sort of thing, looks pretty decent actually. It's only this area where it's just gone to shit, but that's because I'm sick and I've been blowing my nose all day. I'm really impressed with the wear of this foundation. I won't say it's the best wearing foundation I've found, but it's pretty damn good. I think I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. I would quite like to try this out again when I'm not like super ill. So really, I definitely am quite impressed with both of these Primark foundations. I think they're really good. One kind of complaint really is that I just feel like they're really similar. I don't really feel like you need to buy both of them. In my opinion, I would just get one or the other, and so I think that they're really similar in finish, they're really similar in colour. I feel like they just look kind of like the same foundation on my face. The longevity is pretty similar. I mean, I did try out the other one for less time, but from the vibe I was getting, I feel like it probably would have been a similar sort of wear situation. In my opinion, you really don't need to buy both of these. I would just go for one or the other, and I'd probably go for the double coverage matte just because it's £5 instead of £6. You might as well save that quid. So yeah, I definitely don't feel like you need to buy both of these. They're just way too similar in my opinion. So I mean, if you're in Primark and you can find a shade that will match you, it's obviously like Primark, so it's not going to be the best shade range, but if you can find something that works for you, I would definitely recommend giving it a go 100%. Is it my favourite foundation I've ever found? No, I have foundations that I like the appearance of slightly more, but I do like the appearance of this one. I have preferences other than this. I don't really like how this one looks. I just have some that look a little bit better in my opinion, but I still think it's nice. I'd still definitely use this. Happy to keep both of these in my collection. I don't think I would be throwing these away for a very long time. I'll definitely keep these hanging around because I quite like them, yeah. So that's really all I've got to say on these two. So I hope you enjoyed my review. Obviously this is just how it's worked on my skin. It's going to work completely differently on other people's skins, but this is just, you know, if you have got a similar skin type or skin colour or whatever to me, I hope that this is somewhat helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.